Hello everyone, this is Korosh Erfani and we are on Wednesday, October 8th, 2025. We had breaking news according to which there is an agreement between Hamas and Israel on Gaza, a kind of ceasefire plan that would be implemented very soon, it looks like. But the question is why many people are so pessimistic, why commentators, analysts are not really optimistic about the future of what's going on. I think there are many reasons for that. One of them is lack of technicality for this plan. The plan remains extremely general and cannot be really presented in details, and we know that when the details are not there, of course the devil is in the details, and in the absence of technical details everything will be possible. And maybe one of the reasons for which some people don't believe really on the doability or realizability, feasibility of this plan, it's because we don't have yet the detailed description of what is going to happen. So when we remain general, of course, it would be very fragile and vulnerable to believe effectively on the chance of continuation of such a plan for the phase 2, 3, and so on. I think everything is focused on only the phase 1, where the hostages will be released, and after that, of course, there wouldn't be anything more important than this first element, this first component, the hostage, and that's why the plan becomes extremely fragile just after the phase 1. Just after the release of hostages. We should be aware about that, and that's why maybe many people started to have serious doubt about what is going to happen. But I would like to develop something even more important. We can notice that the whole thing is extremely self-centered, person-centered, individual-oriented. Everything revolves around President Trump, just one person, and it looks like that the legitimacy, the guarantee, the future of this project depends almost entirely on the shoulders of United States President Donald Trump. So which means that we don't have really the institutional character for what is going on, for this plan. And we know that when the process are not institutionalized, when they don't follow an institutional process, we can be sure that in the absence of the person that is at the center, at the core of the process, of course the process itself becomes very fragile, very vulnerable, and most probably with a dark future, with an uncertain future. And I think that's plausible that we are going to have exactly this perspective, which means that we are going to have an agreement almost entirely based on the presence of Donald Trump and his very active role and engagement in this plan, and otherwise there wouldn't be anything that can guarantee, that can support really this ceasefire or peace treaty later. So from the moment something is completely person-centered, individual-oriented, if this individual, for any reason, is not there, we can talk about the physical absence of this person, for example. That's one possibility. We shouldn't forget about John F. Kennedy and his fate. Or for any reason, this person is completely occupied or preoccupied by something else, with something else. I am talking about that this person would be, for any reason, immersed in a more serious subject, a more serious business, for any reason. Let's imagine, for example, right now there are lots of efforts for triggering a civil war in the United States, for example. A president who must take care of a civil war in his country would have the time or mind or any interest to see what's going on in Gaza. I don't think so. So that's why the real danger, the real risk of this plan, which makes it extremely vulnerable, is the absence of the institutional character or the institutional characteristic for this plan, and its total person-centered feature, right? Everything is around one person, and the absence of this person, or in the absence of the interest expressed by this person, of course, we are going to have this process completely falling apart, and this is most probably what is going to happen, because we know already that one side of this agreement, which is the Israeli government, the Netanyahu governments, more exactly, Netanyahu governments will be the actor of blowing up this process once the hostages are released. This is a possibility, and that's why I think as long as there is no institutional guarantees for that, there is no package of the countries, right, seriously engaged in that, involved in that. I am not talking about the Arab countries that whose will and whose determination are completely overshadowed by the, for example, the American government or other external elements. I don't count on that. I don't think that the presence of Qatar, for example, is that much serious. Everything right now, and I think there is a purpose for that. They are doing that purposely, putting everything in the hands of one person, getting the guarantee from only and only one person. And of course, when the things are in this way, completely person-centered, completely individual-oriented, there wouldn't be any good future for that. At least this is my prediction. We will see. Thank you very much for watching this video.